I hope you guys enjoy that little clip. That clip was actually used using this vintage lens, this Hanimax f2.8 28mm lens. And I really wanted to test it out. And the reason I'm making this video today is to kind of give you guys a guide on whether vintage lenses are worth it and why you should get one. Now today's video is going to be one of 4 videos for this series because I actually have 4 different vintage lenses we're going to be testing. This is actually the widest, the Hanimax 28mm, and we're going to be testing the other ones in a future video. Now I want to explain and talk a little bit about this beautiful lens and why I purchased it in the first place. So as you guys can imagine, Sony lenses or whatever system you're with, whether it's Canon, the RF mount, they're all very expensive. For example, I have the 24-70 G Master lens. This goes for about 2,500 brand new Australian dollars. It can be very expensive, and also it's quite heavy. Something like the Hanimax 28mm is very light and very easy to use. Now, there are some downsides, but there's also some pro sides. The real downside, I would say, is that it doesn't have autofocus. If autofocus is something you guys rely on, that's not obviously going to be in this lens. These are all manual lenses, especially these old vintage lenses. The Hanimax is from the 70s, and I'll get to the other ones a little bit later on. So they're early lenses, but they have solid build, they're very light, and they produce beautiful images. Now, why would you want a vintage lens over, say, something like this, the 24-70 G Master lens, which seems to be everyone's kind of go-to lens? Well, there's a few reasons. I think the biggest thing I would say with the 28mm and why I started getting vintage lenses, well, there's a few reasons, but one of the big reasons is its characteristics. It produces a beautiful image straight out of camera. It's really honestly lovely. There's like this soft kind of blemish, kind of dreamy look, but at the same time, it also renders the greens and reds true to life. It's honestly so beautiful to see. And I'm going to be showing you photo examples, as you can see as well, just to kind of get an idea of what the lens is capable of besides just shooting video. It's also pretty sharp, but not overly sharp like something like the Sony G Master lenses, which is something I wanted, right? Instead of putting a ProMIS filter, you can chuck this lens on with the camera, and now you can obviously get a beautiful image where it's not too sharp and it doesn't look video-like, and it looks a little bit more filmic. Now, the beautiful thing also about these lenses, especially for people that are just starting out in the industry, these are very cheap lenses. Are they very practical? Probably not the most practical lenses for if you're doing corporate work, for example, whatever. Where there's more position shots or you kind of have a little bit more freedom, that's when it's really good because, obviously you got to pull focus. Sometimes you might not be able to get the shot properly. It might be out of focus. The good thing about the cameras like the A7S III, the A7 IV, the A7 III, and anything that has peaking, what peaking essentially does is it'll color your face or whatever the subject is that you want to get into focus into a certain color, whether it's red, white, blue. And what it does essentially, it tells you that when it's fully red that you're in focus. If it's out of red, that means you're not in focus. So that way, if the screen is too small, you can't really see. Peaking will obviously help you a lot for the manual lenses. So having that option is imperative, especially with these kind of lenses where you don't have, autofocus. So something to consider. The beautiful other thing about them is the price range. They're really cheap. This Hanimax 28mm I got for $100. $100 cash. It's in great condition. I chucked the UV filter on it, obviously to protect the glass, but besides that, it's honestly in great nick and it performs really well. Would I recommend these lenses to upcoming people? Yes, not only upcoming people like that want to get in the industry for like looking for a cheaper market, but even professionals. These characteristics are beautiful and you can't always replicate them on software, right? Like in post-production. These ones come rendered already in the image. I think something to know, and that's really important. A lot of people think buying the best camera is what produces the best color. Not necessarily. In fact, it all has to do with the lenses. The body really is just managing the shutter, right? It clicks, it declicks, and obviously has the different codecs and the frame rates. But really, the color comes from the lenses. So keep that in mind. The characteristics, everything about the lenses is really essentially what produces that nice image. Obviously, you can do a lot of color grading and everything like that, but the characteristics, first and foremost, will always come from the lens. So something to keep in mind. Now that's it for this beautiful video. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know why I said beautiful video. I think I'm just in love with this 28mm at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, guys, if you liked the video, please hit the like button, and I will put a playlist for some other videos to check out, and I will have another 3 videos regarding my other vintage lenses coming up really soon. And Merry Christmas. Hope you guys have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll see you guys on the next one.